Really having a hard time again hitting the record button. It's like I think this is my 50th video I've made now, and it's still hard to hit that record button. It's just probably because I've not been keeping up with them lately and not been doing as much as I should. So they're getting harder to do. So I'm going to try and do another one now and keep up with them because they really have helped me a lot. Just I think they'd help me a lot more if I'd keep up with them better. But this one I was going to talk about panic attacks. When I very first started making videos, that was the problem I was dealing with. That was the most pressing problem. That was the panic attacks are what kept me in my house, and, kept me from going anywhere. It was that fear of having those panic attacks. I didn't really focus all that much on the social anxiety part of it. Just Max, just the panic attacks. I had a feeling he might do that. And I haven't had one really since I started making these. I think it's been close to 2 years, maybe actually even over 2 years, I think, since I've had a real serious one. And I think, I don't know that this is like something that's going to work for everyone, and I'm not like trying to give advice or anything. This is just kind of sharing, kind of worked for me. I quit focusing on trying to stop panic attacks. I didn't sit there and focus on my breathing and trying to think positive thoughts or anything like that. I just, the approach I took was to focus on the fear of the panic attacks, not the panic attacks themselves. So not trying to stop having panic attacks, just try to stop being afraid of them. To convince myself that I wasn't afraid of them. If I was going to have one, I was just going to have one. I wasn't going to be embarrassed about it. I wasn't going to be afraid of it. I wasn't going to worry about it. It's just something that happens. One way I kind of did that was just reasoning in my mind that in my past, I've tried lots of various different substances and a lot of the feelings that different drugs give you and alcohol give you are very similar to what you get in a panic attack. The room is spinning. You get from alcohol. You get the racing heart from some drugs. You get, even shaking and that kind of thing. All of those things are effects that I've paid good money to experience. So I tried to tell myself that if I was in a store or whatever and worried about having a panic attack or was in a situation where I might have one, I wouldn't sit there and try and focus on not having it. I would just sit there and think about, kind of follow through with those, with that imagination, or that imagined panic attack. I sit there and start imagining what if, asking those what if questions. What if I have a panic attack? I would sit there and follow that through as to what would actually happen. And try and see it in a more positive way, as you know, if I have one, then fine, I'll fall on the ground and go through those different experiences and feelings, and I'm sure whoever I'm with will give me some help, and people around are usually going to be helpful and help you out. So you get through it and you get up and you move on. There's, even though you do feel embarrassment when it happens, there's really no reason to be embarrassed about it. So I just kind of keep telling myself all those things and convincing myself of it, and I think I have got myself convinced of it. Another thing is that I had told myself, if I ever did have one where I was nearby my camera, my webcam, that I would film it, try and film it before it, got out of hand, just so I could view it and see what happens. Because a lot of times when I would have a panic attack, I would forget, or just, bits of time would kind of disappear where I'm not really aware of what's happened and what's going on. So it would be a way of being able to see that, and see what I missed, and just kind of study it. Just kind of study the attack itself and examine it, I guess. And yeah, since I've decided to do that, I've never had one to film, so I still haven't done that project yet, and I guess that's a good thing. I'm having a real hard time making this, and Max isn't making it any easier. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I can think of on that subject. So I'll just call this a done video, and try and make another one here real soon, so I can kind of keep the momentum going up and maybe get better at this. Who knows, maybe next time I'll look at the camera.